What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I wanted to talk to you all today about the whole Alex Pretti situation. Alex Pretti, if you've been living under a rock, he's the guy that got himself ended by ICE the other day, about 5 days ago. So obviously, just like everything else, you're getting one story from one side and a completely different story from the other side. But I'm really not here today to debate which side is correct. I'm here to do my favorite thing, which, as you all know, is calling out truths and exposing hypocrisy. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to get into is the brand new video evidence that's just surfaced of this guy. And if you've not seen this yet, it definitely shows he's been getting up to a little bit more than just being a humble nurse trying to look out for his community. I'm going to roll the clip now. So this was 11 whole days before the incident that cost this guy his life. And if you didn't catch it, as he's in the middle of yelling and swearing at these federal agents doing their jobs, he then spits at one of them. Then he proceeds to violently kick the taillight off the SUV they're driving. And then the feds finally jump out and subdue the guy.
Federal agents fire tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. Take a listen.
Now, some of my sharp-eyed viewers out there may have noticed something that, fortunately for this guy, the feds at the time didn't. The dude had the loaded gun in his waistband right then at that incident.
We can see what appears to be a handgun printing through his jacket. Agents then exit the vehicle and take Pretti down to the ground. We see him run away and turn back towards the agents. Interestingly, what appears to be his firearm is uncovered by his jacket after the scuffle. While this new footage doesn't negate the pretty clear fact that the shooting and killing of Pretti was unjustified, it does shine new light on the subject of carrying a firearm while engaging in violence.
And that's one of the first points I want to make. Now, obviously, it's a tragedy that this guy lost his life. Any life loss is a tragedy, no matter what the circumstances are. And yeah, maybe this one could have been avoided. But the one thing we all need to be aware of is that this guy came looking for a fight. He was either coming to do harm onto someone or have harm done onto him. It came out that this guy had 2 fully loaded magazines on him anytime he turned up to one of these events. Why would you have 2 fully loaded magazines, man? How much damage are you intending to do? And no, I'm obviously not saying that this guy turned up with the intention to unload 2 full mags into ICE officers or anything like that. But he clearly turned up with the intention of potentially having to unload 2 mags into something if it came to that. And you know what? The whole Second Amendment thing is a pretty foreign concept to me anyway. I've never lived in America. I've never been a citizen there. I've never lived anywhere where we have anything like the Second Amendment. But I do know enough to talk about it, and I do know enough to see the hypocrisy when it happens. So in the event where the guy lost his life, obviously all the people defending the federal agents were like, what are you going to do? The guy had a loaded firearm on his waistband. He could have been a threat to their lives, so it had to happen. But funnily enough, all the people on the left are now like, yeah, but that's his Second Amendment right. He has a right to walk around with a loaded firearm. But hang on a second. Isn't it the left that's normally against that kind of thing? Strange, isn't it? Only when it suits them. Oh, and by the way, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, like I said, I'm not from America, but the way I understood it, if you get arrested for a felony while having a concealed carry permit, don't you lose that immediately? You no longer get to conceal carry, which means had he been arrested on that initial incident when he was, kicking out the taillight of their vehicle, he probably wouldn't have had the concealed carry on him the day he lost his life. And why did he not get arrested the first day? Well, clearly ICE were overwhelmed and there was no police presence in the area due to liberal government action in the area. So at the very least, the responsibility falls on quite a few people. Definitely Alex Pretti himself, definitely the cop that pulled the trigger, but especially all of the people in the area creating this situation, allowing it to even get to that point in the first place, especially them. And this Alex Pretti guy clearly had it out for these officers more than anybody else I could see there. He was right at the front line. He was the only one trying to fight with them, spit at them, kick at their vehicle. He was fiending for it. He couldn't stop getting in fights with these guys on multiple occasions. Even after breaking his rib, he came back for more action. So what does that say about the guy? And you have a lot of great rights in America. You even get to have a concealed carry if you want to. But there's one thing you don't have the right to do, and that's get in a physical altercation with multiple officers as they're trying to detain you. Multiple officers, man. What are you thinking? One, There's literally no way you could possibly overpower them, and 2, it's only going to end badly. How have you lived this many years on this planet without figuring out that if you get into a scrap with multiple officers, especially if you have a concealed carry that they're going to see, you're probably going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, if not lose your life entirely. And not only would he had to have thought it through on that occasion, he would have thought it through on multiple occasions, every other time he turned up to these riots with a fully loaded firearm and 2 magazines in his waistband, waiting to do damage when the time came. Now, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say the guy was a terrorist, but the definition of terrorism literally is the unlawful use of violence or intimidation for political gain. So, is that not by the book what this guy was doing? Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the disgusting behavior in the aftermath from the left. Like, for example, did you see, I think it was MSNBC, they broadcasted like a photoshopped photo of the guy that made him look more handsome than he actually was. Like, think about that for a moment. Actually sit back and think about what their intentions were. There's only one possible answer, and that is to cause more outrage than there otherwise would be. If it's an ugly guy, maybe not so many people are going to be pissed off about it. If it's a handsome, good-looking, attractive guy, you're going to get more people pissed off about it. More people are going to make noise about it. So if you're a news outlet, or a propaganda machine in this case, the only thing you're doing is making your country worse by doing that. You're helping nothing. You're only making things worse for your own people. Absolutely disgusting. Here's the photo here. So they've made him look less pasty. It looks like they've broadened and kind of shortened his forehead there. His jaw's a bit more square. His nose is a bit less gangly, I guess you could say. He just looks like they've done his teeth up a little bit there. He's just overall more symmetrical. Oh, he's ripped. He wasn't ripped before. Look at his arms on the left and look at them on the right. So, like I said, what is your intention if you do something like this? You're only trying to instigate, just like Alex Pretti was only there to instigate. And what happens when you instigate? Things blow up, people get hurt. What do you expect? And the really sad thing is, they pretend to care so much about the guy, but think about what you're doing to him when you do something like that. Like, first of all, to his friends and his family and the people that know him, he's now known to you as the guy who was too ugly for TV, wasn't going to generate enough sympathy because he was just too ugly, so we had to make him look good so people would actually care about the guy. Like, imagine how awful that makes the people feel who actually knew the guy. Like, come on. Like, it's just sad, pathetic behavior. MSNBC, you got to do way better than that. Obviously, it's never going to happen because you're clearly a state-sponsored propaganda machine. It's just gross. That's all it is. It's really gross that they're just using this guy's death as a pawn in the little game of chess between one side and the other. And that's exactly what the left wanted to happen. I said it in another video. They send these people there, these useful idiots, to instigate, knowing that if enough people come and enough drama takes place, eventually something's going to go too far. Someone's going to get hurt. And Alex Pretti is going to lose his life, and they get to use it to make themselves look good and make the other side look terrible. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. There's no other way to put it. And no matter what you say, at the end of the day, none of this would have happened if all these instigators weren't there protesting in the first place. You people in America are fortunate enough to live in a free democracy. And in democracy, majority rules. And for the people on the left, sorry, you lost this one. Wait till next one. That's how it works. You don't get to just disrupt law and order and stamp your feet having a group tantrum because you're not getting your way. That's not how the system you choose to live in works. So I'm just going to be the guy to come out and say it right now. From what I can see where I live, sitting back and looking at this with some real objectivity, yeah, the officer may have pulled the trigger, but the blood of Alex Pretti is clearly on the hands of all these liberal protesters who turn up to disrupt law and order in their own city. You know what you wanted. This is what you got. So that's my hot take for today. Like and sub if you agree with me. Leave a comment if you want. I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks about this one. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.